My name is Mistress Suzanne, and I am here today to talk to you about different fetishes. As a pro dominatrix in my late 40s, I have certainly seen my share of different kinks and fetishes, and I feel at this point in my life that my calling is about bringing awareness to fetishes and kinks. I'm really grateful for 50 Shades of Grey. However, it was soft. And on top of it all, it was a male dominant in this book that became somewhat of a household name internationally. Every housewife across America had read 50 Shades of Grey. Now, with female superiority and female equality, I find it interesting that there hasn't been more awareness to the fact that my type of job, career, that I have as a female dominatrix is literally about dominating men. Of course, I do it in a professional capacity, so I don't live the lifestyle. I don't have a red room in my house like in 50 Shades of Grey. However, I have a very large clientele. So if you think it's just a very niche market, it may be somewhat. However, I would guess that probably 1 out of every 2 people, maybe 1 out of every 3 people, has some type of a kink sexually. It does seem to be more of a male thing, kinks and fetishes, but there are a lot of females that have kinks and fetishes. So what are kinks and fetishes? I mean, fetishes are literally something that you absolutely need to have in order to climax or orgasm sexually, whereas kinks are just fun, off the sort of out of the mainstream norm for sex. Mainstream being like missionary and, you know, kissing, making out, blowjobs, you know, eating pussy. I mean, it goes beyond that, right? So I've been asked what's my main sort of type of clientele. So I have a lot of very young clients. Most of my clients are 35 and under at this point in my life. When I was younger in the adult entertainment industry, I tended to have a lot of older clients, so older men. And now that I'm older, I attract a lot of younger clients. Now, I don't know if this is because of the MILF fantasy, because I'm often told that I'm, you know, the ultimate MILF sort of lady, or if it is simply for the fact that porn has sort of taken over the internet. And of course, you know, the internet and digital technology, etc., is still, you know, more predominantly a younger generation thing. In fact, a person that goes on the internet and watches porn is exposed to more nudity and more sexual things watching porn than a man that's 70 years old has seen in his entire lifetime. And that's just from one time masturbating, watching porn. One day, 1 hour on porn even, jerking off or masturbating. That we see more in that hour than a 70-year-old man has seen in his lifetime when it comes to sex and nudity. So when you think about that, I mean, that is a lot. That's a lot. And I agree. Like, you can find absolutely anything when it comes to sex on the internet. However, it's misconstrued because what you are seeing in porn doesn't really relate to how it really is. And you have to agree, it can really make you feel very insecure as a woman, for example, when you know, see porn stars with these huge tits and perfect bodies and, you know, perfectly shaved pussies. And I mean, by the time they've edited the final product, so to speak, it's perfect. Of course it looks perfect. It's fantasy. You know, that's why a lot of people are attracted to amateur porn, because it's much more realistic. It might be grainy, it might not have the best audio, but it's more realistic. So, you know, it's a little irritating for me too as a dominatrix when guys send me some porn clip, and they're like, this is what I want. you know, I'd like to incorporate this into our session if they're coming to see me in person. And, you know, it shows a dominatrix kissing the guy, and like, that's just not something that an actual pro-dom would do. We don't kiss clients. That there's no sexual interaction, like physical interaction sexually, with a real dominatrix. In fact, most of my work is psychological.